Ahunavaiti Gatha Yasna 29. Kshmai bhyageu surva gerezda kamaemathwaros dum kema tashat amaeshmo hazascha Ramoahishaya Derescha Tevischa Noedmo Evastakshmadanyo Athat Moesasta Vovastriya. The soul of the bovine complained to you. For whose benefit did he fashion me? Who shaped me? Fury against me, violence and cruelty, maltreatment and roughness oppress me. I have no herdsman except you. Therefore, to you, I beg to procure me good pasture. And verse 2. Adatasha geus peresada shamkatha toe gavo eratus yadhim data kshayanto hada vastra gaudayo thwaksho Kem hueustau ahurim yedreng vaudem bis aeshem vada yoete. Then the shaper of the bovine acts justice. What was thy idea about a judge for the bovine? Did you make an energetic herdsman along with the pasture when you made the bovine? On whom have you decided as her lord? Who may repel the fury by the drugist, those of the lie? And verse 3. Amayashano Wedsar Amayashano Wed Sarejan Vaeshu Gavu Epaetim Ravat Avaesham noed vedyayashavete adrang ereshvano hatamvo avoaujishto yahmaezavang Jimma keredusha. Mindful with justice, answered to the shaper of the bovine. For the bovine, the cattle, do I not know of a helper who would not be liable to do harm? Those yonder do not comprehend how just individuals treat their dependents. But to whomsoever of living beings I come as help, he is the strongest of living beings. Mazda esavarem irishto yaziva verezoi Periaithit Daemvaischa Mashyaischa Yacha Vereshaiti Vereshaipi Chithit Vovichiro Ahuro Wathanenhat Yatha Vobasat. Justice, mindful, is the most retentive of the plans which have been performed by the fire beings and men in the past, and also of the plans which shall be performed in the future. He, Lord, who makes the decisions, whatever he wills will happen to us. And verse 5, Advaus tanais avvazastais thrinem nauraya meurva gauschas yae yad mazdam davidi frasabio no it eres edgio e fragiaetis no it fashuyente regvaste peri. If that is so, said the shaper of the bovine creation, then my soul and that of the calving cow urge mindful with questions, and placate him with outstretched hands. No destruction may affect the just living farmer among the wicked. In verse 6, Adevao chadahuro mazdae vivae thapos vianeia noeda emba ahuvistona edaratus ashatachit hatchat zithwav Shuyantacha Vastriyacha Thwareshtatasha. Lord mindful, who knows the decrees which for wisdom himself spoke, neither overlord nor rightly appointed judge exist for thee. Therefore, I, who am the fashioner, shape thee for the farmer and pasturer. So we're being let known with some of these who the speaker is and then the speaking. But it's just... And verse 7. Tammazuto esahuro matram tashadasha hazaosho mazdae gavoe kshvedem chavoreshaemyu spento sasnaya Kastebo mananayedayat ava meritaemyu. The decree which provided fat food for the cattle and the milk food for the hungry. Lord mindful in agreement with justice through his bountiful teaching. What hast thou, good disposition, who could tend us both among men? and verse 8. Samueda visto yene ambusasnae gushata Zarathustro spitamu vonemazda vashtia shacha karek Charakirathra Sravyangahyad Hoe Hudamim Dyaevakedraya. Good Disposition answered, the only person known unto me here who has hearkened to our teaching is Zarathustra Spitama, and I guess maybe I'll look up what his name means. He is desirous of proclaiming the thought, for mindful and justice, so will we endow his words with sweetness. Now, when a prophet's called, isn't he the only true surrenderer, person who's given his whole life to God, left among the people? So that's how it starts. So verse 9, Achageu survarau staye anaeshem kshanmeneradam bacham neres asturahiyayam avasami ishakshatrin kadayavahvo anhat Yehoedadat zastavat avo. Thereupon the soul of the bovine lamented, who must, for a preparer, put up with the impotent speech of an impotent man, who wished for myself a self-depending ruler. In what age shall he who may give me energetic help arise? And verse 10. We look to it now, it's like, as much as people are obsessed with cats and dogs and stuff like this, do we really treat animals right? Verse 10. Yuzemma yurangodata shakshatrem cha avatvohu mananhayahushetis ramam chandat azam chit ahyamazda thwamengi paurvin vandam. You, O Lord, and justice, that you will give to these two such vigor and ruling power as gives peace of dwelling through good disposition's assistance. As to me, mindful, I have recognized thee as the original provider of supplies. And finally, Kudashambo chamanokshatram cha atmamasha yuzemazda frakshnanemazoemangaya petizanata huranunai avere ehma ratois yushmavatam. Where, O mindful, is justice and good disposition and political power, So, O mortals, receive me among you, that I may impart to you instructions for the great Magian cause. Grant us help now, mindful Lord, for us to be of service to such entities as you. So, I'm not quite used to saying these, so that is why I'm broken in times, but it really is a text, these 5 Gathas, that I literally could listen to every single day, clear through, if I had no other guidance to look at and read them. So, the traditional arrangement is Gatha Ahunavaiti, so Yasnas 28 through 34, Gatha Ushtavaiti, Yasnas 43, 44, 46, and they interpret that as the wish. Gatha Spenta Mainyu is Yasna 47 through 50, and they interpret that as the Holy Spirit. Well, I guess the theme, not interpret it as, by interpret, I mean Kenneth Sylvan Guthrie. So the Holy Spirit is the thing for that. Gatna Bohu Kshatram is Yasna 51, and the Good Kingdom. Gatha Vahishta Istish, Yasna 53, and he thinks of the best wish. And the chronological succession would be the Gathna, Yasnas 28 through 53, and formulas in 27:13, 27:14, and 54. Hapteng Haiti, Yasna 35 through 42, 12, 58, and 426. The metric Yasnas 9, 10, 11, 57, 62, 65. Yashts 5, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15, 17, 19. Scattered verses in the Visparad, Nashis, and Efringans, the remaining prose portions of the Avesta. The and I guess a chronology is, first we have Medes, 700 to 559 BCE, contact between the Medes and the Semitic peoples. Zarathustra in western Iran is thought to be 660 to 583 BCE. Propagation of his religion in Bactria, longer Gathic document. Establishment thereof, shorter priestly Gathic document. Achaemenids, 559 to 331 BCE. Cuneiform inscriptions. Of Darius, Xerxes I, Artaxerxes I, Artaxerxes III, development of the Avesta, Ahunavaiti, Yasnas 35 through 42. Well, more solidification of these texts, wouldn't it be? Because some of this, you know, the language, why would it be preserving language use of something further back? That would probably be the Magian transcriptions. So, 3. The Seleucids, 331 to 250 BCE. Greek kings, decadence of Mazdaism under Alexander, 21 yashts down to 1 yasht. Arsacids, 250 BCE to 225 of the Common Era. Parthian kings, religious doubt, Avesta translated into Pahlavi, Sassanids 226 to 651 of the Common Era, Mazdaean kings, state religion 226 to 241, Ardashir I, heresy of Mani, 238, text of Avesta gathered under the high priest Tansar, 369 to 379, Shapur II, text corrected under Adurbad Meresband, 438, Yezdigerd II, edict of his minister, Mir Narsad, 440, and writings of the Armenian Esneg, 490, Kobad, heresy of Mazdak, 488, formation of the Avestan alphabet, 531, Khosrav Anash Ar Evan, golden age of Pahlavi literature, redaction of principal treaties, Greek and Syriac civilizations in Persia, 632, Yezigard III, Paul the Persian of Der Ishar, 651, Arab conquest finally suppresses Mazdaean establishment, because the Mazdaean establishment was going after its minorities and people that weren't of its group. Chronology of the elements of the Mazdaean religion, 1. Old Gathic, Yasna 43 to 53, Zarathustra's experiences, fire, prayer. Late Gathic, Yasna 28 through 34, priest, sacrifice, penances, resurrection. Downas are individualities. 3. Old Heptanhaidi, Yasna 35 through 42, personification of the Amesha Spentas, worship of Fravashis, fire, earth, and grass. Yazamedi are praise to the waters. Geus Urvan, and to all holy clean beings. 4. Doubtful Hyoma, the death repeller. Visvan are limbo. 5. Recent Bundahish, creation days, divisions of days, and 5 Gathas, Beresman. 6. Sasanian crystallization of definite doctrines. So we see over time that revivals, attempts to make records, obviously pretty much everything Persian kind of slipped back in, whether or not it was acceptable unto the faith or not. Home and Age of Zarathustra. Jackson, in his book on Zarathustra, gives the lifetime of Zarathustra as BCE 660 to 583. The tradition states he was 42 years of age on the conversion of Vishtaspa, the chief of the Magyans, while he received the vision when 30 years of age. The place of his birth seems to be Atropatene, or Azerbaijan, the region to the west of Media, the neighborhood about the lake Urumia. His is to the west of the southern third of the Caspian Sea. His mother was said to hail from the Median Raga Arai. Turan is Turkestan on the opposite eastern side of the lower third of the Caspian Sea. The location of the vision of Vohomana is traditionally to the south of the Caspian Sea in the Alborz Mountains, that is Hara Berzeti, whose 2 peaks are Rugar and Ausind. The location of the vision of Asha is at the Tojan water. It is probably the Tajan or the Thijan River. This is in the Turan. It flows outwards and does not reach the Caspian Sea, but loses itself in the desert of Turan. This location would allow good opportunity for Zarathustra's acquaintance with the friendly tribes of the Friana and the Tura. The third Friana, the third vision or conference was with Ahura Mazda, who took place in Zarathustra's home, already mentioned, to the west of the southern third of the Caspian Sea, called Azerbaijan, and later Vej as the river Dati or Ditya, the Jordan of Zoroastrianism. The traditional 7 questions addressed to the 7 entities was in 7 different places, must have been derived from the above 3 experiences. So one of the important things we have here is well, we don't know what is missing, do we? If possibly even the smallest part, one yasht, wit-ing is Spitama, and Zarathustra, keeper of the ruddy camels, of the yellow camels, established camels. There's a really cute type of camel that's, that exists in the region. So I'm going to end this here and perhaps do another one today. Shnathra Ahura Mazda Ashimboho Kam Namasta Ashimboho.